Happy New Year, Waku, my people. How you doing? I am so glad we made it to this side of the year, and I'm so happy that you're here, that you're joining me. It's a little bit different, but let's see how it goes. There are many things that God amekuwa akiniambia as an individual, like you, Wasa, you, Safari. Unajua zile za I have called you by name. How many times have I called you? Like I have called you by name. Do this or do this. And most of them, honestly, appear very crazy. And I'm going to share one of these things with you. When I was starting the year, I thought I had a clear word from God on what the theme of my year was going to be. Those who know me, my lifetime goal has always been point them to Jesus, which was what I was rolling with last year. This time it was supposed to be more Jesus and less me. So I'll tell you, and manze God, nasemanga pia God saa zingine, manze God is amazing, God is interesting, but saa zingine naonanga nika God akona jokes. I'm reminded of when I was a kid, when I was like really, really young. I think I wasn't even 10. I went to my dad and I told my dad I wanted a pet snake. yeah. Hata mimi I don't know what I was thinking, because snakes are like my biggest fear, but I was like, I told my dad, what is your take on like snakes, non-poisonous snakes? And obviously my dad, being the African man he is, was like, akinani ameroga kijana wangu, hii ni uchawi gani, what is happening? You know how Paul is like, you foolish Galatians, who has bewitched you? Yeah, my dad looked at me like that. Now obviously I think he had to walk me through the whole, snakes and blah blah blah. But what was stuck with me was, not all snakes are venomous. Not all snakes are venomous. And I stuck with it. Obviously, goes without saying, like, I couldn't get a pet snake. But I always knew that not all snakes are venomous. But does that mean that I should have anything to do with snakes? Now, bear with me for a second here. I get a lot of questions many times with regards to the Christian dating scene. And it's like, we're Christians and we're dating, and can we hold hands, and how far is too far, and can we kiss, can we do this kind of things? I am not here to get into the details of that. I'm not here to give you an answer, but this is how I'll put it. Not all snakes are venomous. The different ways of telling, you ask any biologist, they'll tell you there are different ways of knowing if a snake is venomous, and these are just general ways. So one, they'll tell you to look at the pupils. If the pupils are like more oval shaped with pointy like ends on the top and the bottom, it's more likely venomous. But if the pupils are round, like the pupils of the eye, they are round, it is most likely not venomous. Or you can look at the shape of the head. If the head is like triangular almost, then it's probably venomous. But if it is not, if it is more roundish, the snake is likely not venomous. They also tell us to look at the different color shapes. And here's the catch. Most snakes that are the most beautiful, zile supu, yani, and yes, I know I'm talking about snakes, and yes, they are beautiful snakes, and not beautiful beautiful in terms of color. They are very colorful and very bright. Those are more likely to be more venomous, right? And it's the same for many other things. Anything that looks beautiful will kill you. Whether we're talking about frogs, whether we're talking about, stay away from the ones that are the colored ones. So that's how you know. But then here's the scary thing. There are exceptions. So there are snakes that are round-headed that are venomous. There are snakes that are not very brightly colored, like snakes in the desert, like rattlesnakes. They are not very brightly colored. They are more pale, super venomous, right? And there are snakes that have round pupils that are venomous. So here's the thing. Now that I know that there are snakes that are not venomous, does it mean, like, I don't even know how this works. Do I now go when I see a snake and go near it and like look at the eyes, look at the shape of the head, or what? Or is my first instinct going to be like, if I'm a Kenyan and African, or even human? Yeah, even human, because white people are not human. That is a joke. Yeah, but white people do crazy things. But I think it's a snake. First instinct, run. Get away from it, or just let it go, or whatever. Just don't go near the snake. If it's venomous, you escaped death. If it's not, well, why even take the chance? Like, at least you didn't take the chance. Just let it go its way. And I'm careful because hapa kuna KWS and whatever, so I'm not going to say kill the snake. But yeah, it's a snake. It's dangerous. And it's kind of the same with this thing that God was talking to me about. You see, when the year started, God was talking to me about being sexually pure. And this came as a bit of a, not surprise, but a bit of a shocker. A bit of a like, okay, God, that's not what I expected, you know? Because I thought that my walk in terms of sexual purity had been like A game. Like, I mean, I am careful. I have boundaries. I have rules I keep that, you know, keep me from falling or stumbling. And I have all these like things that I've put in place that will help me not fall into temptation, right? But God was insistent. Look at yourself. Look into your life. Yeah, there is something, man. And I'm talking to you. I am calling you by name. Mark, Wessa, Safari. Analyze yourself. There is something that needs to change. And it was very clear, and it is still very clear, and it is with regard to sexual purity. And so he gave me a few instructions. One of them was to post on my status. Those who have my number will know. On WhatsApp, every single day, a message about sexual purity, right? And I'm to post it every single day and share it. Even as I look into myself, even as I look into my life, share it, post it every day until he tells me to stop. And so I post something on sexual purity each and every day. Because the Bible is very clear on fleeing from sexual immorality. We need to flee. Sexual lust is not something you pray about. You pray about it while you're away, but when you're in the heat of the moment, you run away from it. And fleeing literally means running away. So, should I then wait for it to be here? Should I wait for myself to be with a member of the opposite gender in a room totally naked for me to be like, oh my God, I need to run? Or do I need to block these conversations from even when it gets flirtatious on text? You get it? There is always a slow fade. There is always a slow fade. And by the time you're finding yourself falling, if you're honest with yourself, you can always retrace these steps and be like, okay, so I opened this door that led to this other door that led to this other door until we eventually fell. And you need to take responsibility for that, right? Because if I entertain these things, if I entertain like we will just, it's fine, we've got this, we are Christian, we'll take care of it, it's okay, we are dating, but you come over for a sleepover. I mean, we'll just read the Bible, we'll just do this kind of things. I mean, we'll just pray the whole night. Red flag, my people. That is just as dangerous as seeing the snake coming and then going to check whether it is poisonous or not. That is where I was getting to with this point. You understand? It's a snake, man. It might be poisonous, it might not be poisonous. Fine. But it's a snake, people. We need to stay away from the snake. Not all snakes are poisonous. Actually, sometimes you'll go spend the night there and nothing will happen. But does that mean that sleepover was correct? Sometimes you'll start kissing and you'll kiss and you'll end it at that. Okay. And you won't go the whole way. But does that mean that even the act of starting to kiss was wrong, was correct? And these are the things that God is calling me to. Look into myself, look deeply into myself, and check with my heart. And as I do that, share with as many people as I can. Not all snakes are venomous, people. But does that mean that we should go checking? Go near the snake, be around the snake to see if it's venomous?